Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. In sequence of our interpretation of the Holy Book of Quran, we are in the second chapter, which is called Al-Baqarah, or the cow. We have reached verse number 24, and it relates to the ayah that is before it. In this 24 number, Allah is saying, God is saying, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا وَلَنْ تَفْعَلُوا فَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ الَّتِي وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ أُعِدَّتْ لِلْكَافِرِينَ وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ أَنَّ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ كُلَّمَا رُزِقُوا مِنْهَا مِنْ ثَمَرَةٍ رِزْقًا قَالُوا هَذَا الَّذِي رُزِقْنَا مِنْ قَبْلُ وَأُتُوا بِهِ مُتَشَابِهًا وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا أَزْوَاجٌ مُطَهَّرَةٌ وَهُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. In these two verses, God is saying to man that our message is an assured one, that is guaranteed that this is book of Allah, this is from Allah, this is from God. And if somebody has some doubt, as it was said in the verse number 23, if somebody has, or if you have raib or doubt in that, the simple way to resolve this is to bring the same verses or same surahs that of Quran. Then you are the gainer and you are on right. And if you can't, what is said in this verse number 24, Allah is saying the otherwise of that. And He is saying, وَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا, if you did not do, lam taf'alu, it has a tense of past. When lam taf'alu, you did not do that. And you have to know, up to when these verses were being sent down, and these verses came in Medina, we know that. And it was almost 13-14 years after the first revelation from Allah to the Prophet. And in these ayat, it is being said that if you did not do up to now, because the challenge was given from the first day, and when verses came and people said this thing and that thing, and this is from God or not from God, or other thing, God had given that challenge in some other verses. But in this verse, Allah is confirming that up to now, there are almost 2 decades or less than that Quran has been being revealed and sent down, but nobody could do the same and nobody could bring something like that. So He's saying that فَإِن لَمْ تَفَعَلُوا, if you did not do up to now, وَلَنْ تَفْعَلُوا, and Allah is saying that this is not the matter that you did not do it up to now and maybe you can do it in the future. No, that is not the case. Allah is confirming and saying in the firm voice that Walan taf'alu, and you will not be able to forever. And it means that the challenge is still there. And if somebody can bring some ayah or some verses of Holy Quran or like that, then he can win and he can say that this book is not from Allah. But up to now, nobody had that courage and nobody had that ability and capability to bring such a thing. Walan tafalu. So if Allah is saying that if the condition is like this, that you did not bring that thing and you could not and you cannot in the future, then for you there remain only one way, and that is to fear God, to fear Allah, to be pious. Fattakun nar, to then you have to secure yourselves. You have to make yourself safe from what? Fattakun nar. An-nar means fire, the fierce fire. Of course, Jahannam, the fire of Jahannam is not like the simple and the fire that we know. It is quite different and quite high. And Allah is telling us that what will be the fuel of that fire which is lit, and those who are unbeliever or those who are not obeying Allah, they will be in that fire. Fattakunar allati, the one, wukuduhan nasu wal hijara, the fuel of what? The fuel of those fire, that fire will be anas. People will be the fuel of that fire, and also hijara, and the stones will be fuel of that fire. And this is quite a comprehensible thing, and that can be understood, because fire is lit and fire is ready and fire is done with with whatever the fuel it is. But when the people are drawn in that and people are set in that fire, after a while they will turn to fuel, they will turn into fire itself, and they will be part of the fire. So fuel of that fire is not only other fuels that the fire was started with them, but in continuation of the process, even those people who are there in the fire, they will be the fuel of fire. And Allah is telling us this from this time, and we should be clever enough to avoid it. Wal hijara, O iddat, for whom is that fire? Oh Allah, tell us, for whom is that fire? Allah is saying, O iddat lil kafirin. That fire is ready, it is made for kafirin. That the people who are not believing, after knowing things, they are not accepting them and denying them and just going on their own will and their own whatever they think. Oiddat lil kafirin. And here it is used, the word is used in passive voice. Oiddat. It is not in active voice. When the word is used in passive voice in Quran, it means that that thing will be happening very naturally, and this is quite something like automatic procedure is for that, and that is done, and it will happen like what is said, and there is no involvement of other levers or other elements. Everything is very quiet, simply as the natural process is there. So uiddat lil kafirin. So the difference with the passive voice and active voice is in point here, and should be focused and have it in mind when we translate it and interpret it. Oh Allah, there has been a big talk like Jahannam and fire and this kind of thing which fears us, which makes us be fearful and be afraid of what is happening in the life hereafter. So when it comes to this kind of darkness and this kind of afraidness and a situation of not feeling easy, then Allah at once comes and talks about Jannah. While there was no talking about those believers and the mu'mineen and other good people and righteous people and pious people. But again, Allah brings some verses here and some talks about Jannah so that can be the environment can come calm and peaceful and somehow with a happiness and brings out from disappointment. Maybe some people when they listen and hear and these kind of things, for those who are in the hell, maybe some people gets disappointed. So Allah at once just says here وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ in verse number 25. Allah is just saying that وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ and give a good tiding to those who are good tiding to those who are good. Bashir means give a good tiding or a news to inform them. Whom to inform? Alladhina amanu, those who have believed in Allah. And not only iman, Allah is saying in the most of the ayahs, the most of the verses of Quran, He is joining these two phrases and two words. One is amanu and the next is amil salihat, and He is not only using one word amanu and then giving a good tiding for them. No, most of the time it is used like this, amanu amil salihat. It means that this process is a joint process and they are combined things, and only iman is not enough. Only amal saleh, being doing good things and good manners and good actions, they are not enough. Somebody should believe and then hope that Allah may give him reward. If somebody is not believing and he is doing out of the field everything, so he is doing for himself and he is doing for his own will and not according to the will of Allah. So Allah is not responsible for him to give him reward. So Allah is saying that from Ayat 25, it is starting to give good tidings to those who believe, and inshallah we will do it in the next session. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May God bless you.